Hello. If you happen to by chance follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, you have seen that I'm pregnant again. Come with me, my love, to the sea of love. I wanna tell you how much I love you. So, I totally was not expecting to be pregnant this cycle. For some reason, I could have sworn that my app told me that my fertile time was going to be around my birthday. And we went to California for my birthday, so that didn't really happen. But now that I go back and look at the app, it was kind of that whole week before, like the actual during the week, and then the weekend was my birthday. And so, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I didn't really think it was possible. So on Monday, I took a test just because I was kind of paranoid. And at that point, it was only a couple days until, before I was supposed to start my period. Maybe 4 days, I'm not sure. But anyway, I was paranoid. And so I took a test and it looked negative. So I was like, okay, whatever. I thought I was just delusional or something, and that, there was really a really faint line there, but I was just like, it's kind of crazy. So I just put it off and I was like, okay, so not this cycle. And so I didn't use progesterone for a few days because I was like, well, I'm obviously not pregnant, because I didn't think that it was going to work out. And now I'm kicking myself in the butt for that because, it was only a couple of days and I've been using it, since I ovulated. So it should be okay. But basically, I was using my app, and I use Ovia, the Ovia app, to kind of track everything. And it, on the day that you're supposed to start your period, it tells you to take a pregnancy test. And I was like, okay. And that was yesterday. And so I took a test, and they're just the cheap strip tests, the Wanfo ones, and there was a pretty faint line, but I was like, it wouldn't show up if it, wasn't true. So this morning I did another one of the cheap Wanfo tests, and the line was a little bit darker, and so I was like, whoa. So I came in here, and I woke up my husband to tell him, goodbye, because that's what we do when we're not awake at the same time and we leave. We just wake each other up and we say goodbye and give each other a kiss. But so I woke him up to say bye, and I asked him, I straight out asked him, I was like, are you coherent? He was like, no, text me at 8:30. And so I was like, okay, that's weird. But I didn't want to tell him if he wasn't going to remember or if it was going to be foggy. So I left for work, and I took one of the first response tests with me to work because I didn't have to pee again. I just went pee, and I used the little Wanfo strip test. So I was like, okay, great. I don't know why I did that, but anyway. So I took it to work, and then I was drinking water, and finally when I had to go again, I went into the bathroom at work, and I took the test, and it was positive. And so I was texting my husband, texting him. I asked him if he could call me, and he didn't. And so I was just getting kind of, one, worried, and then annoyed, because I'm like, here I have this information and I want to tell him. And so finally he texts me, he tries to call me back, and it's when I'm in a meeting for work. And I was like, okay, you would call me when I'm in a meeting. But so I was in the meeting, and I was just too excited, so I sent him a picture of the test, and he asked me if I was lying. He's just like, what, are you lying? And I was like, no, I'm being serious. And so he sent this big happy face. But so after that, I was thinking, I need to call the fertility center. I need to call them. They need to do blood work and everything. So I went earlier for them to do the blood work, and my first beta is 224. And I asked the lady over the phone if that was good. I mean, I kind of had an idea just because of the pregnancies I've had before, but I like to get confirmation. And so I was like, is that good? And she's like, well, I think so, but really we just need to compare it to, to another test in a few days. And so they're going to have me repeat the test on Monday. So that's 4 days, and they're just going to make sure that the numbers are increasing the way that they should. And I assume it's going to be like last time, where if those numbers come back good, then we'll schedule an ultrasound for 7 weeks, which will be around Thanksgiving time. So I don't know if they'll do it maybe a little bit earlier or if I'll have to wait a little bit longer. But I'm thinking that's what the plan is going to be. I'm trying to just take it one day at a time, and I'm trying not to be negative about it, even though it's really hard. And I was texting my friend about it, and she said, you don't seem very excited. And I haven't been talking to her very long. We're kind of just we haven't been talking very long, so we don't know each other very well. But I kind of explained, when you have a miscarriage or 2 or 3, it takes that away. I mean, it takes away the excitement. It kind of puts a damper on everything. You feel like, if you get your hopes up, then you're just going to be let down again. And I know that's not a good way to look at things, but that's kind of just the reality of it. And I follow a lot of other people who are, trying to conceive or who've had miscarriages before that feel the same way. You kind of just, every cycle, you're just like, you're like, oh, maybe it's the cycle. And, when you get your period, you're just like depressed again, and you have to go through it again. And it's kind of the same way with miscarriages. If you have, if you've had one, you're scared you're going to have another one. If you've had multiple, then you're just kind of like, okay, is this really the time, or is it going to happen again? It's hard to be excited. And so I'm trying to be excited. I'm trying to let myself feel that. And I like to have people know what's going on, and know that, if I'm sad, they know why, or if I'm happy, they know why. I don't like people to just, not know what's going on when it's really hard for me to hide my feelings. I wear everything right here. You can usually tell exactly how I'm feeling just by looking at my face. And so it's just easier for me. And I like to know that there are people who are out there who are, praying for us, and who are, sending good vibes and everything, because I feel like it helps. And it definitely helps me to be more positive. If I didn't have that, I would just be sitting here thinking all negative things. I mean, not all, but it would be most of what would occupy my brain. And so I'm just going to try to take it one day at a time, just try to stay as calm as I can. But, it is in the back of my head. What if something happens again? It'll be my 4th miscarriage. And how am I going to handle that? Is it going to be just like the 3rd, where, I go through these, ups and downs of depression and hopeful and this and that? I don't know. I really don't know. Is it going to be the breaking point where I'm finally going to say, okay, I give up? But see, these are the things that go through my head, and it hasn't even happened yet. So my mind goes a mile a minute, and it's really hard not to think those things. But like I said, I'm going to try to take things one day at a time, and not let things get to me and overthink things before anything happens. But I am excited. I really am. I want this to be the time. I want this to be our rainbow. And if people don't know what a rainbow baby is, it's, after you've had a loss, the baby that comes after that is the rainbow baby. Kind of like the rainbow after the storm. And so I'm really hoping that that's what it is. I mean, I really don't want to, drag this on. I feel like I'm not getting any younger, and I'm not old. I'm only 26. I just turned 26 on the 25th of October. But I really thought that I would have kids by now. So I don't want to put it off any longer. But, my coworker also asked me, she's like, well, is it okay for your body to go through that? Isn't it hard on your uterus? And I mean, I think to an extent it is. And I've had 3 D&Cs. So, I'm sure the surgery isn't good. And they told me, the more D&Cs that you have, the more effect it can have on you. And so, that goes through my head too. But my fertility specialist has told me that there's no reason really to wait. At least physically, there's no reason. There isn't, anything wrong that I should wait. Emotionally is another story. But, like I was just explaining, I feel like you know, if I put it off any longer, I could end up, you know, I wake up one day and here I am, you know, 35, 40 years old, and I've gotten nowhere. And so that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. I'm pregnant, and it's surreal to say that every time, just because I've been pregnant 4 times now. Like, my mom was pregnant 4 times and she had 4 babies, you know, as a result to that. So it's just kind of crazy for me to actually say it out loud, and you know, this could be the time. So I really appreciate you guys, you know, praying for us and sending us all those good vibes and good luck and everything, because it means a lot to me. And I really don't think I could do it without the support of my friends and family. And these videos, I started them so that, you know, people who are going through it and who aren't as open can, you know, at least feel like they're not alone, and maybe they can relate. And, you know, if they want to reach out to me, they can. So that's really why I'm putting these videos out there. And people who I don't talk to all the time, people who I'm not as close with, they can watch them and get those, you know, these updates as we go. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll update you on Monday, most likely, when I get the second blood work done, so that they can compare it to my beta, which was 224 today. So thanks again. Have a good day, guys. Bye.